Hello, and welcome to the pros and cons, the ins and outs, the ups and downs of our recent trip from Lisbon to Copenhagen aboard the Silversea Silver Spirit. And we'll finish up with a particular problem that we had to deal with on not only this voyage, but also a few of the voyages preceding this one. And then we'll finish up with some final thoughts on this cruise and the Silversea experience in general. Well, if you're looking for some past context on what we'll be talking about, I encourage you to go back and look at a few of our past videos and pros and cons of some of the trips we have taken on Silversea previously. I'll try to post links or references to all these videos in the comments. Again, most of this is what we experienced on our cruise from Lisbon, Portugal to Copenhagen, Denmark aboard the Silversea Silver Spirit. And opinions stated are just that, opinions and ours only. Your experiences and perceptions may vary from ours, and we welcome your opinions and comments in the comments section. So when we booked the Lisbon to Copenhagen trip, the booking options at the time were these: door-to-door, providing limousine service from and to your house. Silversea provided air flights and transfers from airport to hotel and ship or hotel to airport on the back end. Then, of course, there was port to port, where you supplied your own flights, hotels, and transfers as needed. And the least expensive option, Essential, which was the cruise-only option and no included excursions. And although we enjoy the peace of mind and ease provided by the door-to-door option, for this trip we chose port-to-port and arranged our own airfare and transfers. And that worked out well for us on this trip. However, it's a moot point because this entire set of options is, well, no longer available. What is now available from Silversea is quite different, and I'm not going to waste time talking about that here, and I really suggest going to the Silversea website to explore those differences for yourself. But the biggest reason why we go on voyages like this is because we like the onboard experience. And at least on paper, that is unchanged. So this section is going to be all about the onboard inclusive benefits of traveling with Silversea and how they went on our Lisbon to Copenhagen cruise. So let's get started with what Silversea touts as one of its main benefits, and that's butler service for every suite. Now, truthfully, we have taken several Silversea cruises, and that butler service, while in general has been very good, has been variable in the past. However, on this cruise, well, it was very good, so we give it a big thumbs up. Silversea also offers complimentary transportation into the city center when required by the destination. What they mean is, if a city center is too far to hoof it from the docking location, they'll offer shuttle service. Also, in some ports, especially in Europe, the taxi union and the transportation unions have the power to block that. But in every case where it's allowed, it enables you to get out on your own and explore at your leisure and becomes a really big pro. For most cruise lines, port taxes and fees are a separate line item, and you pay for them. And in this case, I know I'm still paying for them, but they're not an additional charge later on down the line. And at least to me, that's a big plus. Silversea in general has a very good food program and includes diverse offerings with enough diversity to keep you coming back again and again. On the Silver Spirit, there were 2 restaurants, Seychen and La Dame, requiring reservations and an upcharge to dine there in the evenings. However, at least on this cruise aboard the Silver Spirit, Chef Grant and his team kept the taste, quality, and consistency of the food so high that we felt no urge to splurge. The other big inclusion is, of course, an open bar benefit that includes beer, up to 50 wines from the included wine list, unlimited champagne, premium spirits, as well as soft drinks, specialty coffees, and fine teas. all at no additional upcharge and available anytime the venues are open. Ultra-premium liquors and many fine wines are also available for an upcharge. For our Lisbon to Copenhagen trip, you can find the Dining and Drink Guide here, as well as several other Silversea Dining and Drink Guides on the channel. And in these various dining and drink guides, I detail our experiences in the various dining and drinking venues aboard each ship. The venues are essentially the same across all the ships, with the exception of the new SALT program, Sea and Land Taste, which you'll find on most of the Muse class ships and Nova class ships. As far as the entertainment on board goes, it's not stellar, but it's good. And there are plenty of things to do, from bingo to golf putting to bago. There are plenty of enrichment lectures, everything from politics to shore talks, to cooking demonstrations. This is Executive Chef Grant. To energetic and fine performances by the Silversea singers and dancers, to performances by a rotating cast of headliners and the Silversea Band, local regional entertainment like this cabaret in France, dancers, singers, and pipers when in Scotland, and of course the talented musicians playing the different venues on board the Silver Spirit. You do have unlimited access to the gym, and there are steam and sauna rooms that you can access during opening hours. And while we found the fitness center to have all of the right kind of machines, there just weren't enough of them in the small area that was allotted to the fitness center. And of course, for a little extra dough, there is an extensive range of spa and beauty services available. Now, it seems that each time I do a pros and cons for a Silversea voyage, we have to come back to the Wi-Fi situation. It's one of those situations where it's both a pro, because it's included, and a con because the standard package that is included, unless you're in an upper level suite or pay for it, is abysmal. The last very worthwhile inclusion that we'll speak about are the onboard gratuities. Silversea states that they are neither required nor expected, and I realize that I'm paying for them up front in the cost of the cruise fare. But it's one less thing to worry about and open your wallet for at the end of the cruise. Can you leave a little something extra for someone you think gave you above and beyond service? Why, certainly. That, of course, is always at your discretion. But one thing that has disappeared from the inclusions list is the shore excursions. Since we had booked a few months before, shore excursions were still offered with our trip. The idea was that there would be one or more included excursions at every port, and a few select excursions which were always paid for. Now, I will have to say that at least on this trip, and the two previous trips as well, that the included shore excursions were getting rather lame. And since there was no additional charge, complaining about the quality of the excursion really wouldn't have done much good. However, on some of the selected excursions that we did pay for, there were also some circumstances that made them, well, rather lame as well. We selected and paid for 3 separate excursions, and on 2 of those, complaints from us or others resulted in either full or partial refunds on those particular excursions. We couldn't go back and redo them, but at least we weren't out of pocket for the bad experience. Now, I said at the onset of this video that we would close with a problem or conundrum, if you will. When we book, we generally book one of the lowest categories because we both believe that is where our money is better spent, allowing us some extra cash and flexibility in other parts of the cruise. But we do enjoy a veranda cabin, so the lowest veranda suite is the classic veranda. Well, for the last 3 voyages or so, we have noticed a trend. We would ask for the classic veranda, but one of a higher cabin number, making it a little bit closer to the center of the ship. In some cases, we booked more than a year and a half before the cruise. And yes, we were able to get a classic veranda, but it was always in the absolute worst position on the ship, all the way forward. The standard excuse for this from Silversea was that, well, there was no inventory available. When we booked our Silver Spirit cruise, we were assigned cabin 608. And while not perfect, it was good enough. Now, we had booked rather late, so we were satisfied with that choice of suite. However, just 2 to 3 weeks and with no prior notice, and just before the cruise was ready to sail, we were checking our booking and found that we had been reassigned cabin 502. We checked with our travel agent and we were told Silversea had changed it, but they couldn't do anything about it as it was a guaranteed cabin category, and that was the new assignment. Too late to cancel, so we decided to make the best of it and go anyway. But after getting on board and seeing the cabin, we found that the veranda had a partially obstructed view, and 2 people could not sit on the veranda and actually look out at the sea. This did not sit well with us, and so we protested. Our butler and room attendant took it up the ladder, and lo and behold, they reassigned us suite 511. And we were happy and content enough with that one, but decided that shouldn't be the end of it. So we wrote a nice letter to Silversea Management and turned it in. It was entitled, No Inventory Available. And basically it was a treatise on, whatever convention that Silversea was using in cabin assignment was broken, and the idea that there was no inventory available when clearly there was a problem that they needed to look at and hopefully fix. So a case in point might be our voyage aboard the Silver Spirit, where all this came to a head. The passenger capacity of the Silver Spirit is 608, but we were told the passenger count on this voyage was around 500, so somewhere around 50 suites still should have been available. Now, I understand if the only suites available were the owner's suites, they weren't, and in all fairness, an upgrade into a much higher category of suite is not what Silversea should have done. What they did was find us another classic veranda suite and move us there, which was fine. But it does put lie to the idea that there was no inventory available. In fact, we had our choice of 2 different suites in the end. In fairness, I would say that Silversea did read the letter. We got an immediate response from onboard personnel, and eventually a phone call from Silversea Corporate, apologizing for what, at least on the surface to us, looked like a case of inexplicable punishment. But in any event, all's well that ends well, as they say, and now it's on to some final thoughts for this particular voyage and the Silversea experience. Is the experience that we have enjoyed in the past still there? Well, I think so, because what we have enjoyed the most is the overall experience of cruising with Silversea, and most of all, the crew, along with that overall experience. So I'm thinking our next trip should tell us whether or not there have been any changes to what keeps us coming back. My feeling at this point is, I think it's all good. Well, that's it for the Silversea experience and the pros and cons of this last cruise. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be kept up to date with new videos as they drop. Comments and suggestions are always welcome. And stay tuned for more. We have upcoming trips already booked, and I'm going to be dipping back into the archives to try to update a few of our past trips and make them more YouTube friendly. As always, thank you for watching, and safe and happy travels from T's Cruise and Travel Muse.